The battle over bacon is headed to the U.S. Supreme Court. The nation's $20 billion pork industry is suing the state of California over a law that could dramatically change how farmers are allowed to treat pregnant pigs. It could have a major impact nationwide and also on the prices we pay for pork at the grocery store. Our Devin Dwyer got a rare inside look at the stakes in this case and has a story from Minnesota.
This is the birthplace of bacon.
Boy, they're active now. They know we're here.
Row after row.
These sows are probably weighing 450 to 550 pounds.
Mother pigs giving birth and nursing newborns. Commodity pork raised on large commercial farms like this one is a critical part of the nation's food supply.
These pigs would have been born just last night.
Third-generation pork farmer Mike Borboom showed us around his family farm in southwest Minnesota.
So you can hear the baby piglets squealing.
A labyrinth of barns and birthing areas where 4,000 sows deliver 100,000 baby pigs a year.
This is our 8th time giving birth to a litter.
That's enough pork to feed close to 500,000 Americans.
And once they're pregnant, you put them over here.
That's correct. Then they go into open pen gestation.
The treatment of pregnant pigs at farms like Borboom's is at the center of a high-stakes Supreme Court showdown, pitting pork farmers against California.
Under Proposition 12, we would not be able to individually confine these animals for breeding like we are today.
The state's Proposition 12, passed in 2018, would outlaw conditions like these, widely used for breeding across the industry.
Well, in addition to the extreme cruelty, it's a human health problem. When you confine animals in these terrible conditions, it is a breeding ground for viruses.
Backed by animal welfare groups, Prop 12 would ban the sale of all pork from sows confined to crates and crowded group pens like this one, where they live until they give birth. Most American pork is raised this way.
Why do farmers use it?
It's maximizing profits over welfare and over human health. It's about confining as many animals as you can and churning out as much product as you can.
We've been raising pigs in confinement for 40 years. I think to eliminate gestation stalls completely would be a step in the wrong direction in terms of treating that animal with respect.
This is a pen of pregnant pigs. They have about 20 square feet each here. Prop 12 would require them to have 24 square feet, and the owners here say that would cost millions of dollars to achieve.
California's law, which is yet to take effect, would have the biggest impact in other states. California consumes around 13% of all U.S. pork, but only produces 1%, importing most meat from states like Minnesota and Iowa.
These are called hoop buildings right now.
Jerry Coelho raises just a few hundred pigs on a small farm in Riverdale, California.
This is a gestation crate, but she can come or go as she wants.
Whenever she wants to go out, she can. They're fat and sassy. They're doing well.
His farm complies with Prop 12, but he says it would be difficult and costly for most large farms to upgrade. And he worries about inflation.
If you want to all of a sudden cut off pork supply coming into California or make it so much more expensive for the average guy wanting to buy bacon for 20 bucks a pound, I don't think that law was well thought out.
The pork industry calls Prop 12 potentially catastrophic, both for farmers and consumers, especially in California.
Even if it's only 25 cents a pound or something, that adds up to quite a bit over time.
The Constitution's Commerce Clause says states can't pass laws with excessive impact on business and trade of other states. And pork producers say Prop 12 does just that.
You don't have to sell in California.
It's California today. Is there going to be more mandates that would come potentially from every single other state?
But several major American pork producers like Hormel Foods here in Austin, Minnesota say they're preparing to comply with Proposition 12 in part because of growing consumer demand.
They need more farmers doing it this way to meet the demand.
Right.
There's not enough supply.
These are probably 4 months.
John and Ruth Jovag are part of the Nyman Ranch network of family farmers raising pigs in what they call a more humane process.
So they got a lot of space in here.
They once used crates, but now give pregnant sows piles of comfortable hay, fresh air and sunlight, and more than 60 square feet each. Not because of regulation, but because of market demands.
Why do you think the consumer wants this kind of pork?
I think they want healthier food, and they want to know kind of where it comes from, how it's raised.
You know, if they were packed in, that creates more anxiety, I think, if they're packed in.
Is it realistic for every pig farmer in America to do it how you're doing it?
Well, it was done this way all the way through probably the 80s and into the 90s.
At the Minnesota State Fair,
pork chop on a stick at that spot right there.
We found pork's popularity on full display.
I love to season it, and it's very economical, very cost effective.
Along with mixed opinions about how those pigs should be raised.
If it gives them a better life, I don't mind paying a little bit more.
Price is more important.
Just all depends.
The average American consumes more than 50 pounds of pork a year. And while humanely raised meat is growing in popularity, the industry wants the Supreme Court to let companies, not California, decide what's best.
With California making those rules affecting us as Minnesotans, Minnesota pig farmers, we don't get that seat at the table.
They say it's really just about what's being sold in their state.
If we want to sell our pork into their state, we have to adhere to those regulations. The impact could be less pork, right? Or else more expensive pork, neither of which is good for consumers.
More than 60% of California voters approved Prop 12, convinced cruelty exists here, and that pork farmers can and should change their methods.
So you're saying this condition is better for the pig?
I would rather have the sows housed individually like this after weaning to prevent them from fighting with each other.
Mike Borboom hopes the justices will say Californians have gone too far. A debate over humanity and hogs headed for the nation's highest court.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.